Okay, we're ready to take a look at the last two exponent properties on our properties chart. So the front side should be all filled out with the product, the rule, the quotient rule, and the power rule. And now flipped back, we're going to talk about the zero power when the exponent is zero and negative exponents. So let's move into here. A zero power. Yes, it is possible that zero can be the exponent. So the property says a non-zero number that's raised to the zero power is equal to 1. Okay, so if we have the base and it's raised to the zero power, it equals 1. Let's take a look at the example. So here we have the letter A to the zero power. A to the zero power equals 1. 7 raised to the zero power equals 1. Now it's your turn to try. Let's apply the property. So what do you think 6 to the zero power would be? Yes, it equals 1. Don't believe me? Grab your calculator. Put it in your calculator. Go 6. If you use our regular school calculator, you put the caret key in and put in 0, hit enter, you'll get 1. So now create your own. I'm going to do 200 to the zero power. Guess what that equals? Yep, it equals 1. So there is a little bit of a twist sometimes when you have examples with coefficients. So this time we have the 3 here out front as the coefficient. So we would bring that down. 3 times x to the zero power, that equals 1. And then we'd have to simplify that more, and 3 times 1 would equal 3. Okay, so if we have the coefficient, be careful. The property applies right here. Anything to the zero power is 1, so this part was 1. And then the coefficient came down, and then we did 3 times 1. Okay, so that's it. Short and sweet for the zero power. So that's kind of fun. Anything to the zero power is 1. And then let's take a minute and look at negative exponents. So far we've been talking about all these positive exponents, but it is possible to have a negative exponent. So negative exponents, a power with a negative exponent can be written as a fraction with a positive exponent. So to make a negative exponent become a positive exponent, we rewrite it as a fraction. So this is a bit challenging. Let's take a look at the rule. So here we have a base of a with a negative exponent, so a minus n, that means any negative number, and we make it into a fraction, so it's 1 over a to the positive exponent. Okay, so you rewrite it as a fraction with a positive exponent. So here's 4 to the negative 2. So we simply make it into a fraction. So we make it 1 over 4 to the positive 2. And we can simplify that a step more. 4 times 4 is 16. So it becomes 1 over 16. Okay, another way to look at this is to take the reciprocal. So if that's 4 over 1, we flip this and it becomes 1 over 4. So if you see a negative exponent, we want you to rewrite it as a positive fraction. Okay, so here we go. We have a negative 6 to the second power. So I'm going to make it a fraction. And then I just keep the base and I change the exponent to positive 2. And then I can simplify that one more step. 6 to the second power, that means 6 times 6, which is 36. Okay, try to create your own in this space right here. You choose the base. You choose the negative exponent. So I might do a 3 to the negative 3. Okay, so I know a negative exponent, I make it into a fraction, and I just take that negative 3 and I make it a positive 3 in the denominator. And then we could go one more step and evaluate this. 3 to the third power, 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. Okay, but feel free to make your own example if you don't want to use that one. And then we're going to dial it up here. That last column always gets a bit harder with coefficients. Okay, so our coefficients are right here, the 12 and the 3. So we've learned that with coefficients, we just do the regular math operation with that. So that would be a 12 divided by 3, which would equal 4. Okay, so now I'm just going to rewrite everything else. And then one thing I could do is to make this a positive 3, I would have to make it a fraction. So I would have 4, and then times 1. So I already have an x here, and then I would do x to the 3 down below. So I actually have, if I simplify that a little bit more, that'd be 4 over x to the 4th for the final answer. So that's one way to look at this problem. Another way would be, let me just rewrite it down in this space here and I'll show you another way to handle this. Okay, another way to handle this would be, just do our regular math with our coefficients. So that's 4. And then if we did like the quotient rule, keep the base, subtract the exponents. So that'd be a 1. So this would be x. Keep the base and subtract. So negative 3 minus 1 would be x to the negative 4. And then I'd have to move all of those to the denominator to make them positive. So then it becomes x to the 4th. I don't want to confuse you too much because it's brand new. The biggest thing is if you see that negative exponent, know that you can rewrite it as a fraction with a positive exponent. And we'll do lots of examples with this.